Hey guys, welcome back to Ask Snes. Hope everybody's doing well today. Another week gone by. Time's going quick, you know. It seems to fly when you get older. So yeah, hope everybody's doing well. Weather's not too bad. A bit cooler today, so it's all good. Alright, so we've got a few questions, so let's crack straight on. So first question is from Craig's here again. Really awesome YouTuber. Nice bloke, Craig's. So Craig says, I put off the purchase of a PS4 for about a year, but with the release of the white PlayStation 4, I decided to jump in earlier this week. Really pleased with the PS4, not actually got round to playing the pack-in game Destiny yet, but really pleased with the games I've played. But there are a few niggles I have with current gen gaming, which are, number one, when I get a new game, I like to jump in, have a few goes, and then possibly refer to the manual. Seeing as those manuals no longer exist, one game made you go through a massive boring tutorial before you could play it. Really annoying when you get new games, all you want to do is play the damn thing and get the feel of it. Yeah, I hate tutorials. Number two, the constant way games want you to hook up to the internet and play against other players or upload scores, trials, where the two games I played were so far online gamers seems to be getting alienated. And general RRP seems to be 50 quid plus. Yeah, well, half a ton of the game, not what I call value. It's when you don't get a manual. You're bloody right and all there, Craig. What, if anything, annoys you about current gen gaming? Yeah, the prices I don't understand. Especially, like, I know Call of Duty is like this massive thing, but why is it that every time a Call of Duty comes out they charge 45, 50 quid? Doesn't make any sense. And with the current gen, a lot of the games on Amazon and other sites, they seem to be 45, 50 quid at launch. Within weeks they're down to 40, then before you know it they're down to 30. So there's absolutely no incentive to buy them on launch day. I find it a little ridiculous, really. Unless it's an absolute must-have game and you really can't wait a couple of weeks, which quite frankly I can, because I'm not paying half a ton for a game. And I don't like paying 45, I'm certainly not going to pay 50. The manual situation is a pain in the arse, that's annoying as hell. The fact that you have these tutorials, I can't stand games where they force you to go through a tutorial. Even if it's only a 5-10 minute one, I just don't want that. I want to be able to just go in, play the game and learn. That's how gaming has always been. You pick up the controller, you play the game and you work it out as you go along. You work out what each button does and then you go from there. The whole point of gaming is to be able to use your brain, not to just have your hand held and say, okay, this is where you go. One thing that really annoys me is Nintendo and their constant approach that when you're playing a Mario game, if you fail, say 5 times, and then it comes up saying, would you like me to help you skip this level? No, I don't. I don't want help. I want to get on with it and do it myself, and I want to beat this myself. That's the whole bloody point. Nintendo taught us to play that way in the 80s, so why are they being so soft now? Just because they've got 80 million Wii sold and they've got this casual audience? It's ridiculous. Other than that, the only thing that always niggles me about current gen and previous gen is all the updates, the constant bloody updates. Yeah, okay, they're in the background now, which is a lot better, but it still annoys me that every time you put a game in, it's got to have a sodding update. Even if you've had a game for a few months, there's always a new update, and it's just so annoying that you can't just put the disc in, load the game and play the bleeding thing. You know, like the old days where you can just put a game in and play it. You then have to have constant mandatory sodding updates for everything. I mean, thank God they're done in the background, because when I got Wolfenstein New Order, a 5 gig update, 5 gig, that is just taking the piss, that is. That's like we haven't even bothered to finish the game. I mean, that's really insulting. I mean, thank God it was a background download. It took me 3 hours to download that bleeding update. And, you know, downloading updates like that, not only does it take a long time, but the ISPs don't like it. They get a bit pissed off when you're hogging the line like that, so it's not acceptable. It's completely unacceptable. The game wasn't completely finished anyway. As far as I'm aware, it's like some kind of texture pack or something. But yeah, what was that all about? Why don't they just finish the bloody game, put it on the disc and let us play it and stop pissing about and fiddling with it? You know, stop tweaking the damn thing every 5 minutes. It's all, I mean, I'm assuming it's down to publishers trying to create this ridiculous marketing campaign and have a certain deadline that the developers have to work to, no matter what, even if they can't finish the game on time, which is absolutely ludicrous. I'd rather you put the game back a few months, make sure it's completely polished and ready to go. Anyway, so yeah, that's about it really, Craig. So cheers for the question, mate, nice one. You started me off now. Right, let me have a look. Next questions are from good mate Ben Shane Muso, Mr. Controversial, old political Ben. So question number 1. Am I playing Destiny, and if so, what do I think of it? No, I'm not. I'm one of the people that don't give a shit about Destiny, Ben. It never ever came onto my radar. I just don't understand. Certain games like that just get so overhyped, and I never understand why, because I saw it when it was initially announced, and I was like, so it's just another shooter. It didn't interest me at all. It was just another Bungie shooter, and being as it's online as well, I'm definitely not playing it. I've got no interest at all. So yeah, not even the slightest. How many games are being called from the Super Nintendo collection in your recent focusing on games you will actually play? Well, it started off, it was going to be about 5. Now it's been quite a few. Let me see. I've sold. What have I sold? 2, 3, 4, 5. Sold 5 so far, and I've just sorted out a deal with a fellow tuber, I won't say who, for another 2, so that's 7. I'm working out another deal with another tuber, so that's another 3, so that's 10. And then I have left, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Another 17 on top of that, so 27 in total. So, bit of a call, but I'm just cutting all the stuff I don't want, because there's no point in keeping it. I literally just, as you say, I want the games I want to play. I actually want to enjoy my games. I mean, 27 games seems like a lot, but considering I had 125 games, it ain't that big a deal really. I've still got a stack left, and all the quality stuff like the Mario games, the Turtles, the Street Fighters, you know, all the good stuff, you know, Castlevania 4, all the good stuff stays. The only stuff, what people consider good games that I don't really have any interest in, that I got rid of, are Super Metroid and Mega Man X. Because I played them, they're okay, they don't do anything for me, they're not my type of game, and I've got no nostalgia for either of those franchises, so I thought, well, might as well sell them by and get some decent money for them. Right, okay. Number 3. Great question. Okay, independence for Scotland, yay or nay? And I know you're in the yes campaign. I watched your video last night, Ben. I didn't leave a comment because I didn't want to get involved in all that. Me personally, nay. I don't know a whole lot. I don't know all the ins and outs of the Scottish vote, and quite frankly, the only reason for that is because I haven't bothered to pay any attention to it, because I'm not that interested. I like to dip in and out of politics these days. I'm not as into it as I used to be, because I like to make sure I'm aware of what's going on in the world. But I find that the world's such a shit place, and it's so depressing, that I don't need all that negativity in my life anymore. And with Scotland, the little bits that I do know, I disagree with what you were saying last night, and for me personally, I think they shouldn't. I think they should stay with us. Anything I was worried about was the NHS. I wasn't certain how that was going to work if they did separate. But I can't remember the guy's name, but the guy left a comment on Ben's video, a massive, long, in-depth, intellectual comment. And he said in there that the NHS is already owned by the Scottish Government in Scotland. So if they do separate, it won't affect the NHS, they'll still have control. So that was a good thing, I was glad about that. The only other thing is obviously people who work for the British Government, that's going to affect their jobs. You know, that's the only thing that worries me, people that, you know, how that's going to work. And Ben also mentioned about the fact that certain supermarkets are putting the prices up in Scotland if there is independence. And the comments I read on his video said that actually the reason for that is due to tax in different countries, which is what I assumed before I read the comment. Because when Ben said that, the first thing that came to my mind was, well, if they're an independent country, then the tax is going to be different, and they'll probably have to pay a higher rate of tax, and that's why they've got to put the prices up. I mean, that's the only assumption I can make. Me personally, I don't understand why they would want to be separate. Yeah, you've got this whole Westminster thing and all this, but I think Ben was saying that you need to take away the power from Westminster and give it back to the people. Yeah, that's great in, you know, theory. That's a nice idealistic view of things, but in reality that doesn't work. It won't work. We need to have a central government that can make the decisions, you know, and act on the votes that we have, which aren't a lot, but we have. I think if you give the power to the people, it won't work. Nothing will get done, and nobody will make a decision. So the central government idea is good. Yes, it's corrupt. It always will be. You can't have a perfect government. It's just not going to happen. Yeah, you have to be realistic about the situation, I think. Yeah, I don't see any positive reason for Scotland being separate and having their own country. It's nice, you know, obviously, you know, Scottish people controlling their own land. I understand that. That's fine. That's cool. But I just can't see any real reason why you want to do it. Because, interesting. Just got an eBay notification. I don't really see how that's going to be of any benefit. Obviously, without looking into every single little facet of the argument for yes and no campaigns, it's hard to make a decision. And I'm not Scottish. I've got Scottish heritage, but I'm not actually Scottish myself, obviously. So, you know, depends how you're looking at it from a Scottish perspective as to how it's going to affect you and your family and your life. That's more important than anything, really. But yeah, I personally would say no to independence. You know, we're all on the same piece of rock anyway, and fundamentally, why are we all arguing over borders? You know, we're on the same piece of rock in the UK, and everybody on the planet is on the same rock. We're all hurtling through space. So what does it matter? What does it matter what your borders are? Let's just all get along and be friends. That'd be the best thing. Never going to happen, but it would be nice. So yeah, cheers Ben, thanks for that. Right, okay. So Lee Arcadiality is asking me about Castlevania 4 if I knew about the secret equipment and health level up under the stairs before you meet Dracula. I don't think I did, Lee, to be honest. I don't think I found that, so I'll have to go back and play it again then. I'll torture myself trying to get through it. Next ones are from Scribble Sam Animation. So thank you. And the first question is, what do you think of Retrocore by Yakumo 1975? I have no idea who that is, so I'll have to look him up, to be honest, mate. Right, yeah, I'll have to have a look, so I don't know who that is, to be honest. Sorry about that. Number 2, did you used to enjoy watching Steve Benway's Friday Talkies, and do you miss them now that they're gone? Yeah, it's a shame Steve stopped doing that. I can understand his reasons for not doing it, because I think, if I remember rightly, he said he was having trouble thinking of an idea and he felt a little bit pressured to have to do them every week. I can understand that, because weekly videos can be difficult, you know, to maintain the momentum, and to, especially with the Friday Talking, if there's no topics going around the community, there's nothing really happening in the gaming industry, it can be difficult to come up with new ideas to talk about and not just put out a generic video for the sake of putting a video out. But yeah, I do like Steve's videos. I like his Friday Talkies, so hopefully one day he will want to come back and do that again. I'm sure it's not off the table, but you know, we'll wait and see. Number 3, are there any YouTubers that you miss watching? Could be because they left YouTube or are still on YouTube but haven't uploaded anything for a long time. I mean, there's a lot of people from when I started back in 2009 that unfortunately stopped making videos that were really good at the time. And that's a real, I mean, there's one guy, CMB Retrospective, who's a really nice guy. I think his name is Carlos. Really sound bloke, and you know, one of the first people to really support my channel at the time. We had a great channel. He did come back about a year or 2 ago. He made a video, and he hasn't made anything since. So if you're watching this, mate, put another video up. It'd be really cool to see you again. COD 2 fan as well. I haven't seen him do anything for a long time. Another really nice bloke. Who else was there? So long ago. There's been a few people over the years. Ian Wilson, 1978, stopped making videos. Real shame, because I used to love his videos. He used to make great Mega Drive videos. X-File 2708, another great YouTuber who went away. You know, there's a lot of really great people who have left over the years, unfortunately. You know, I mean, luckily there's a lot of new people that have come along that are really great now, like Retro Dave and Cyber Snake and Conus Deloro. So you do get people filling the void, but it's just a shame, and you know, some of your favourite tubers do go away. Right, next question. Have you ever played games like Sega's Top Skater and Wave Runner in the arcades? No, I haven't, unfortunately. Sorry about that. I don't know. I've never seen those games. And do you also think they should have been released on the Nintendo Wii? I think that would have been a great idea. It could have made us a great use of the Wii's balance board. Without knowing what the games are, I don't know, mate. If it's from what you're saying, they're using the balance board, that I can sort of get an idea of what the games are, and yeah, that would make sense. They never really use that balance board as good as they should, I don't think. I mean, there's supposed to be Wii Fit U coming out. I don't know when that's coming out, or if it's even still coming out. I assume it is. So hopefully they might do something with that. But yeah, I mean, you could skating and, you know, surfing and things like that should work really well with a balance board. It makes a lot of sense, really. We bloody think it's beeping at me. So yeah, that would be quite an interesting idea, I think. Next question. Are there any other arcade games, arcade-only games, that you wish could have been released onto consoles? Ooh. Now you're asking. I don't know, because to be honest, most of the arcade games I played growing up they've all been released on computers and consoles, so I can't specifically think of anything that was actually released that I played and really enjoyed that never got a home release. I mean, oh no, it got a home release, didn't it? I was going to say Undercover Cops, but it got a Japanese Super Famicom release. It's bloody expensive as well. Yeah, I don't know the reason actually, if I think about it. All the games I ever wanted on the arcade to come home did come home, so yeah. Anyway, thank you for the questions, Sam. Okay, let me have a look. Okay. Okay, next question is from Kay Hewitt, a long time follower. Thank you very much, mate. First question, have you heard of the YouTuber, what was it, Cardicarus? No, I haven't, unfortunately. I'm not too sure who that is. Does different styles of videos. Favourite series is Hidden Box, in which he takes a hilarious look, mostly retro. Okay, cool. I'll have to look him up, mate. I'll check his videos out and see what he's like. Okay, number 2. I've asked you about this a few times, but I'll ask again. Okay, why have you never played Borderlands 2? As you say, I don't like the RPG part of it. It just doesn't appeal to me at all. I'm not too keen on the art style as well, if I'm honest. It doesn't really appeal to me. The game just never appealed to me full stop when it came out. Maybe one day, you know, when it's on the cheap bucket and it's a couple of quid, I'll pick it up and, you know, give it a blast. Because at the moment all the PS3 stuff and the Xbox 360 stuff's dropping down, so there's no reason not to. Next question. I tried your Snacktastic a few years back and enjoyed it surprisingly. Do you have any other recipes in the Snacktastic repertoire? Not really. The only thing I would say, you can alter that sandwich. If you don't know what the sandwich is, guys, I'll put a link for the video down below. It's a banana and cheese sandwich. It's absolutely amazing. The best way to do it though, I did once try it with peanut butter instead of margarine. That is amazing. If you just get thick, like smooth, not crunchy peanut butter, put it all over the bread, and then put your cheese and banana in there. Absolutely beautiful. Definitely worth trying that one. Last question is this the way to Amarillo? Maybe. Right, okay. Okay, just trying to find it. Right, okay, cool. So I've got a question from Owen, Labotu77, one of the greatest YouTubers out there. Top bloke that he is. Okay, you probably answered this already. Apologies if you have. But do you have any guilty pleasure games or films? I don't like the term guilty pleasure, if I'm honest, Owen. To me, it's like if I like it, and I don't really care that other people think it's crap. So I can only go by what other people may think are guilty pleasures, I suppose. Game-wise, man, it's gone quiet out there. I really don't know, to be honest with you. That's really tough, because I suppose, I mean, things like Rival Turf on the Super Nintendo, where most people seem to think that game's crap, or Pit Fighter, which I personally absolutely love. Pit Fighter, I was a massive arcade fan of it, as you all know, so that one, you know, that could be classed as a guilty pleasure, but for me personally it's a major pleasure. I love it. Film wise, I suppose films like 13 Going on 30, which is one of my favourite films. I love that film. It's just a really fun, easy to watch film. It's a great movie. Yeah, I'll go with that one, because otherwise I'll be all day trying to think of stuff. Right, okay, any more? Yeah. Also, if you were forced at gunpoint, just because I'm guessing it's not really your bag, what would be your cosplay of choice? Alright, okay. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'd give it a shot, why not? I mean, yeah, can't do any harm. Maybe Deadpool. I really like Deadpool's look, it's just really cool. Yeah, that would be a really cool cosplay. Plus you can hide away, no one would know who you are as well. So you got anonymity. Alright, nice one, mate, good question. Okay. Next question is from a good mate Alex, Blue Tonic 78. Okay, so question number 1. I should have known Alex would go there as well. So, by the time we were watching this video, Scotland would have voted no for independence. Well, they haven't yet, so I've got a few hours. Actually, no, you're right, because I'm going to put this up tomorrow, aren't I? It's Thursday today, so yeah. Okay, at least I hope that's how it pans out. Now that the voting is over, how do you feel about it? Too much hype? Did you lose interest? And are you relieved or disappointed? Well, unfortunately, Alex, because I always record these videos a day before I put them up, I don't know what the result is. Yeah, as I said earlier, I want them to vote no. We'll wait and see what happens. If they do vote yes, I won't be that disappointed. It's, you know, it doesn't really affect me personally. You know, I'm not Scottish, so if that's what they want, if that's what Scottish people want, then it's fair enough. Go for it. You know, do what's right for yourself is the way I look at it. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. But I'm going to watch the live results tonight as they come in, see what happens. Number 2, you got the vinyl bug now, just a little. How are you enjoying the experience? Loving it. It's really cool. It's actually the only thing I found with vinyl that's negative is that I listen to like MP3s and they sound shite. And you can really definitely hear a massive difference. I know MP3s are god awful anyway, but my god, the only thing I haven't got is a CD version of any of the albums I've got on vinyl. I'd love to hear the 2 different versions just to compare, see if I can actually tell a difference or not. But yeah, as for MP3s, they sound bloody awful now. But yeah, overall, really enjoying it. I mean, especially enjoying picking up the records, hunting for them, because you know, when you find a gem in the wild and it's like, oh, and it's like £1 or £2, that is a really good feeling. You know, just like gaming, obviously, you know, retro collecting. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's nice. I like the experience of, you know, taking out the sleeve, putting it on the record player, you know, dropping the needle, flipping it over, playing side 2. It's good, man. Yeah. Okay. Can you see yourself slowing down with the purchases and opting for the old quality over quantity approach? Do you think because they're so cheap at car boots that it's worth a punt for the sake of 50p or £1? This is the problem I'm having with vinyl. At the moment, I'm really enjoying picking them up. And as you say, you can get them 50p, £1, 150, 250, and it's brilliant. And you do take a risk more because you'll be like, well, I don't know what that is, I'll try that. And it's really good because it's music, it's really broadening your tastes, and that's excellent. But I watch YouTube videos from record collectors, and they literally, like, behind them, I've got walls upon walls of records, and they've got thousands of LPs. I don't want to get to that point, and that's where I'm not too sure what I'm going to do, because it does worry me, because I know I can get to that point quite easily. I've bought a lot of records recently. I've got another record, I've got another vinyl pickup video to post shortly from Sunday just gone. I went to the car boot again and picked some more records up, obviously. So I'm not too sure at the moment where I want to go with it, because I'm enjoying picking up the records. I really like buying them and listening to them, and you know, trying out new styles of music and different artists I've never heard of. But then I do worry that it's going to get out of hand and I'm going to end up with a room full of vinyl, and I don't know if I want that, because it's a lot of storage, and if you move house it's a pain in the arse because they weigh a ton, and there's a lot of boxing up to be done along with the gaming as well. So I'm not too sure. Alex told me that he's only buying brand new vinyl. He's not getting into this whole going down and getting a bargain and, you know, going to, like, because he's in America now, yard sales and garage sales and, you know, thrift shops and pawn shops and flea markets and all that, because it will just get out of control, and it makes sense really. New vinyls is more expensive as well, so it does cut down what you're going to buy. You will do a more quality over quantity, I would assume. So yeah, I don't know. I'm really not too sure where I'm going to go with it at this point, whether I'm going to continue the way I am, more than likely I will do, or I'm going to stop and just buy new vinyl, because I'm very cautious about getting involved in making it a collection. I don't want to call it that. I just want to enjoy music, but I'm fully aware that it's going to get out of hand if I'm not careful. I end up, because you can take 20, 30 quid to a car boot and come back with like 15 albums, and it's like, it's so easy to do that. And if you do that every Sunday, by the end of the year you've got a lot of records, and you it's getting out of control. So I don't know, I'm going to have to have a good think with it. I might have to have a chat with you about that and see what you reckon, because you'll give me some good advice. Two more questions, sorry. Question number 3. As you get older, has the urge to have a room full of games changed? Does it appeal less now than it once did, or has it remained pretty much the same? The room full of games, yeah, that's diminished. I've gone through all the consoles I want to go through. I've bought them all, owned them all, multiple times with some consoles. I've owned several hundred games, and the quantity thing doesn't appeal to me as much. I can't rationalise that. It just feels like it's consuming me, as I've said many a time. So now I'm very much focused on just being very specific, and as I've said, Super Nintendo, Mega Drive, with a little bit of PlayStation on the side. And that's the best way to go for me. If I limit myself as well to only like, I've got 50 games I want for Mega Drive, I may add a few more after that if I find other games, and if people suggest games that are really worth getting, that's fine. But I'm not going to let that get out of control. 200 is the aim for Super Nintendo still. If I make it to 200, great. If I don't and I make it 170, say, and it's 170 games that I love and I'm going to play and enjoy, I'm quite happy with that, I'm comfortable with that. And if that happens, and I buy all the Super Nintendo games I actually want, and I bought the Mega Drive games I want, PlayStation I'll just buy games now and again because they're so cheap and it doesn't really matter. I may look at another console. There are a couple of consoles I've considered that possibly, but that'll be in the future, way down the line. That's like a couple of years' time because I've got to buy the Super Nintendo stuff first. So yeah, but yeah, my viewpoint on the whole retro gaming and well, especially the collecting more than the gaming, has definitely changed since 2009, and even since when I first started in 03, 04. So yeah, I'm a lot more sensible, I suppose, and more focused these days, thank God. We'll see how long that lasts. In 12 months' time I could be sitting here, completely different situation, because you know what I'm like. And question number 4, the Xbox One, do you think it gets unfair stick? Yeah, of course it does. It's still the remainder of all the original Xbox announcement and all the stupid ideas that Microsoft had. Some were wise and some could have been good, but some are just absolutely ludicrous. And people still hold it against them. And you get all this fanboy bullshit, obviously, because, you know, PlayStation fans will hammer Xbox, and, you know, Nintendo fans don't bother because they're quite happy where they are. But people just like to moan and argue and bitch about pointless shit, and it's a games console at the end of the day. It really doesn't matter. The Xbox One, in my experience from having one, great console, really like it. The games are good, the hardware is good, the UI is really good. I like the Kinect. I know that's not, you know, popular, but I don't give a shit. I like it. I thought the voice commands were really good. They work well in the games. When you play Rise, they respond the way they're supposed to. I was actually quite surprised how responsive it was. It doesn't work 100% all the time with the actual UI, but with the games, I played Rise and it never once failed. You know, it was only on the UI where occasionally you have to shout at it or repeat yourself, but they have updated it since then, and then it got a lot better when they did the update. It was a lot smoother for me. So yeah, I personally like it, and I do think that it's a little ridiculous when people argue against the console, because at the end of the day, if you don't like it, just buy a PlayStation 4 and stop bitching. You know, simple as that. It's not a hard decision really, is it? These are first world problems. What are you arguing about? A bloody games console, it's ridiculous. These ain't like the old days where there's a clear divide between the consoles. They're similar consoles these days. The PlayStation 4 is a little bit more powerful, but in terms of graphical output, you'd be hard pushed to really know the difference, unless you're one of them hyper nerds who has to analyse every bloody frame and, you know, the speed of the game, every pixel, and all the. I can't stand with people like going about textures and things, trying to sound like they know what they're talking about and they're trying to be intelligent. That pisses me off. I don't give a shit about textures. I don't give a shit about tearing, popping, all these other bollocks. All I care about is the game fun. Am I enjoying it? If it looks pretty, bonus. But most importantly, am I having fun? If I'm not having fun, I ain't playing the game. So all that other technical crap doesn't really matter. I don't know. For me personally, I get sick of hearing people talking about textures and poppings and bloody screen tearing and stuff. It's like, you ain't a game developer, why are you bothered? You know, unless the game's completely broken and you're playing it and it's falling apart and there's loads of really shitty bugs, you know, then you've got a right to have a moan, and that's totally fine, because the game developer should have created the game properly in the first place. And you know, it makes me laugh when they patch games and they're still broken, which is hilarious. But yeah, but in terms of little things like that, I mean, if I'm walking around and suddenly the background pops into frame, it's like, yeah, it's a bit shit, but I ain't gonna like, oh my god, I'm not playing this game, that's terrible, this version of the game is god awful. It's like, oh, I don't care. But yeah, really I do think the Xbox One does get unfair stick, and Phil Spencer is trying to turn it around and bring some really great titles to the Xbox One. I mean, all that furore over Tomb Raider, the Rise of Tomb Raider, was ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. It's like, exclusives are important, you know, from a business standpoint. That's how you sell your console, you get exclusives. They're always going to be there, they've always been there, it's as simple as that. And at the end of the day, it probably will come to PlayStation eventually. It's going to be a long way to go yet. I would assume that Microsoft have got at least 12 months locked down with that. If they haven't, what would be the bloody point of having it as an exclusive? There wouldn't be. I still find it fascinating, the fact that Phil Spencer has said that it's a timed exclusive. He said that there is a time limit on the exclusivity. Yet before he said that, the guy from Crystal Dynamics said there wasn't. He came out and said it was a lifetime exclusive. So maybe Crystal Dynamics don't want to release it on other systems. They only want it on PlayStation, on Xbox. Seems a little ridiculous considering the PlayStation 4 install base that they would do that. But you know, I mean, you know, obviously first party are always going to be exclusive, and that makes a lot of sense. Third party exclusive, it doesn't make a lot of sense, but I don't have a problem with it, you know, because third party should be just trying to get as much money as they want. From a business standpoint, it doesn't make a lot of sense for a developer to have an exclusive on a system. I understand that. But, you know, if it's a good game, it's a good game. It'll sell tons. I mean, look at Naughty Dog. They've done a lot on the PlayStation. They've sold millions. So it can work. So I don't have a problem with it. But yeah, I personally like the Xbox One. I think it's a great console. Once they get more games that are exclusive, it's going to be even better. You know, you've got Sunset Overdrive coming out at the end of the year. In October, I think it's coming out. Next year, we've got Quantum Break. We've got The Rise of the Tomb Raider. Those are only the games that I'm interested in personally. They're all the games that are coming out, of course. But yeah, I like the Xbox One, and I will be buying another one next year. As soon as I can get the money together, I'll buy a white Xbox One. I'll be playing Quantum Break and Rise of the Tomb Raider, and I can't wait. So yeah, there you go. So that's the last question, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching it. If you've got any questions for me, just leave them down below. Every week I leave a new response on a Friday. So any questions today will be responded to next week. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see any more videos, just click on subscribe. That just keeps you up to date with all my new vids. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you all again soon.